Why do most women run away from intelligent men? Because they can't manipulate them, and intelligent men don't fall for their games. There's a type of man who doesn't bow, who doesn't kneel for a beautiful body or sweet words whispered into his ear. He watches in silence. He calculates instead of begging. He responds with presence instead of desperation. This man, the intelligent man, the one who thinks deeply, who anticipates moves, who sees beyond the surface, is, paradoxically, the most avoided. Why? Because he's dangerous. Not in the aggressive sense of the word, but in the most feared way. He's immune. The woman who seeks control, who moves with hidden intentions, who plays emotional games to dominate, finds when facing him that her weapons are useless. Seduction becomes a play without an audience. Emotional blackmail becomes a whisper in the wind. Tests and games lose their power, because the intelligent man understands the game even before she makes her first move. And that, for many women, is intolerable. We're not talking about the conscious, awakened, mature woman. We're talking about the woman who learned to survive by manipulating, who found in the art of deception her way of control. That woman, who is used to ruling with beauty, with feigned neediness, with conditional affection. That woman fears the gaze of a man who sees everything, because he sees. He sees when the compliment carries poison, when affection is a transaction, when drama is a trap, when whatever is a test. He knows, and in knowing, he neutralizes. And there's nothing more frustrating for someone who tries to control than seeing their tricks ignored, dismantled, read like an open book. This man doesn't respond with anger. He responds with silence. And the silence of a man who understands but doesn't submit is the final verdict against the manipulation game. Emotionally immature women flee from men like this because they are mirrors, and what they reflect is unbearable. They reflect immaturity, lies, the shallowness of the game. With his clarity, he exposes the emptiness disguised as charm, and those who live off illusion cannot bear to be unmasked. Intelligent men are hard to manipulate because they have self-control. They don't fall in love easily. They don't surrender to impulse. They know how to separate desire from decision, and above all, they value coherence more than beauty. They choose those who truly choose them, not those who simulate interest to extract benefits. And here lies the central point. The intelligent man is not attracted to performance. He demands truth, and the truth is terrifying. It terrifies those who don't know who they are. It terrifies those who live through appearances. It terrifies those who use affection as a tool of control, because in front of him, there's nowhere to hide. That is why many women simply disappear when they realize the man before them need to follow the script. They don't know how to handle it. They spend their lives among predictable, emotional, needy men, easy to capture, and when they meet someone who doesn't take the bait, they collapse internally. He's cold, they say. He doesn't care, they accuse. But the truth is something else entirely. He's not cold. He's just not manipulable. And in a world of fragile relationships, that has become an insult. This kind of woman would rather 1,000 times have an ignorant, rough, reactive man, but manipulable, than a man who thinks, who observes, who deciphers. Because with the ignorant, she can steer the wheel. With the intelligent, she must be real. And being real requires a type of emotional maturity that many, both men and women, still do not have. Today's society is addicted to superficiality. Emotion over reason. Impulse over discernment. And in this landscape, the man who thinks, who questions, who doesn't give in immediately, is a threat. He doesn't validate toxic behavior. He doesn't bend to emotional blackmail. He doesn't beg for attention. And that's why he is seen as dangerous. He makes people uncomfortable because he forces them to evolve. And not everyone is ready for that. The intelligent man doesn't chase. He observes. He doesn't react. He moves strategically. He doesn't yell. He disappears. And that disappearance is louder than any speech, because where he isn't respected, he doesn't stay. He doesn't seek revenge. He vanishes with elegance. And that absence is the real punishment for those who tried to use him as a puppet. The truth is, most women who flee from intelligent men don't actually want a partner. They want a mirror that reflects the image they wish to see. They want a man who accepts emotional imbalance as normal. They want a man who tolerates endless tests, projected insecurities, fabricated dramas. And that's not what the intelligent man offers. He offers peace, but he demands responsibility. He offers depth, but he demands real commitment. He offers vision, but he demands reciprocity. And for many, that's simply too much. That's why, in times where appearance is valued more than essence, the lucid man becomes almost an anomaly, a glitch in the matrix. And like all anomalies, he's not understood. He's avoided, but he doesn't care. Because the intelligent man knows that the value of his presence is not in being desired by all, but in being recognized by the few who truly understand him. And those few, when they arrive, stay. Because they know that intelligence, in the end, is the greatest aphrodisiac of all, but only for those who are awake enough to feel it.